One of the main contenders now for the PDP, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, put out his own picture, saying that he runs, I can't remember how many miles now, every day and every week, and he doesn't believe that should be a point for campaigning now. I mean, the sparks are starting to fly already. There's a lot of names being thrown in the hats. The PDP, we know for sure that former Vice President Atiku is running. The Senate president has moved to the PDP, but he hasn't said anything. He said he's still considering it. We have the Masoko State governor who is still sort of waiting in the wings. But former vice president is also in his 70s as well, and it brings up the question: how much are we going to talk about this fitness issue now? Is this going to be a major talking point going forward with all the candidates even?
Well, there are younger people that aren't really physically fit. And like I mentioned, physical fitness is important. Yeah. But we worry more about the mental fitness of those folks as they grow older, because there are mental diseases associated with old age. And so we don't expect that the president at 72 or Atiku at over 70 will start lifting heavy weights and doing all of the stuff you and I do to keep fit. But when they begin to draw attention to areas like that, it begs the question, should that be more important then than the mental capability of these folks to lead a nation like Nigeria at a crisis period like this? That has always been the issue. It's not about being able to move around. It's being able to cause things to move. That's the objective of, that's the primary role of a president. It is to create movement. You are the ultimate stimulus provider, whether it's in economy, in security, in education, in whatever sector of the economy. Your job, leading the executive arm of government, is to translate policies into action and create movement. You don't really need to be exercising 10 hours a day to convince us that you can do that. The proof that you can do that is on the streets. And if we look at the streets right now, that's where we can say a lot about the competence of the current president. Atiku, latching on to that PR blunder, succeeded in committing his own PR blunder. If you see the responses to the tweets, from different aspects of Nigeria, different, many Nigerians, it served a counter purpose. It was unnecessary. A younger person making that kind of tweet, even making that kind of tweet, would have been unnecessary. So again, I beg Nigerians to sort of look away from those not too important things and not get distracted. 2019 is close, and it's too important for us to play Bet Niger with, which is what I think those gambits are for.
But I know I've asked this question a lot on this show, but I just want to ask it again. Do you think Mr. President owes Nigerians an explanation with regards to his health condition?
He does not need to prove to Nigerians that he is healthy, right? To the extent that he is carrying out his daily activities, he doesn't. Exactly the same way that you do not report every health issue that you have to the business that you work with. However, as at the time when he was away for more than 3 months, it was important for him to a more direct statement, should have been made, explaining the nature of the health condition, so Nigerians can know exactly how much impact that can have on him going forward. But now he's out of that. He's out of the blue now. And right now, I think his primary attention is focused on 2019. And we should be thinking about 2019 and how fit he is, mentally and otherwise, for continuing in office in 2019.
Before we go to the PDP and the INEC now, are you surprised that there's still no candidate seriously trying to contest against him in the APC?
That's not surprising, considering that all previous sitting presidents picked the tickets of their parties. And that's not just
they even had some pretenders. Even.
Yeah,
I mean, former President Obasanjo did have a few people try to come up against him. I think that was the first second-term runner we've had. I think President Jonathan, he also had people try to come up against. So is this? Do you find this strange, or you think it's a good? I know a lot of other countries, most times they see the ticket automatically to whoever the candidate is, and all of that. But
the word of the streets is that those that would have done that have moved, so they can do that without incurring the wrath of their party. Because the setup of the APC is not very tolerant for that level of opposition to the president. It is interpreted to mean dissent, and from the body language that I see in the APC. And so that justifies their move to other platforms so they can express their ambition to be president. Yeah. That's my interpretation. Otherwise, like you mentioned, it is strange that primary elections will be done and dusted in just over 6 weeks, and there is no active contender in the ranks of the APC, not even a pretender, you know, like you said.
Yeah.
So maybe it's the fear of what could happen that is... but that is just a conjecture. Yeah. It's not fact.
Very quickly now, I know there were a lot of rumors after the 2015 elections that there was a fallout between President Buhari and the party leader, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But it looks like fences have been mended again. He's come out staunchly in the last couple of weeks, the support of the president, saying that he's definitely going in for a second term, even lambasted those who have decamped, which we're going to go into when we come back from the break. But how important is that?
Well, it would have been very important if the fallout was real. The personality of Asiwaju is extremely difficult to predict. That is also his. That's what makes him an enigma, politically speaking. And he has not disappointed. He let the rumors fly around that they were at war, and then he let the optics change that there was no more war. And so it remains to be seen how much of an impact that will have come 2019. Yeah. It's interesting.
Okay, we're going to try and go on a break now, because when we come back, we're going to talk about the PDP. I mean, there's a lot of heavyweights, like I said there. Some people are still consulting. They say there's a lot of pressure on them to run for office. Well, I don't know where the pressure is from, but I mean, a lot of them are still sort of hanging in the wings, probably trying to weigh their options. And of course, we're going to talk about the back and forth between Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the Senate president / the Sokoto State governor on the other side, talking about, you know, who has ambitions for what and who doesn't. So we're going to talk about it when we come back. And of course, talk about the INEC's budget for the 2019 election, which is still hanging in the balance. We'll be right back. Just